everyone, welcome to another episode of Max Speed Motorsports Garage. Today we have a Ferrari California, not the T model, but a California 14 model. Basically the window is no longer going down or up, so as you operate the window switch you can clearly hear the motor just turning, but nothing is happening. So it looks like it needs a window regulator replacement, and today we're going to perform the replacement. So the first thing you want to do is remove the door panel. So basically this, by using pry tools, plastic pry tools such as this guy, we're going to remove this panel here, and there'll be a bunch of screws behind it. You want to turn this guy. There's a screw that's sitting right over there, and you want to remove the speaker grill. I believe there's more screws there, so I'm going to start by doing that. Alright guys, so after you remove those trims that I spoke about, like this one, the speaker grill and the vent, you're going to have a few screws to remove in order to get the panel loose and pretty much remove the panel. So you'll have two Allen screws, one that's inside the vent, one underneath here, right above the pocket, and then you got three 10mm bolts for the speaker. So you see the holes 1, 2, and 3, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right behind there, and 8. Oh, there you go, 8 of them. So you'll have to remove all those bolts, 10mm. So you have, I believe, 11 10mm bolts and 2 Allen ones. And at this point, you'll use a pry tool right below the panel, and you want to pop it. Of course, there's a few connectors behind the panel, so you might need an additional person to hold the panel while you remove all the connectors. If you're alone doing this, well, you're going to use your imagination. So let me start by pulling that door panel out and see what's behind it. Alright guys, so again, to remove the panel, simply once all the bolts are out, just push it up. It kind of slides into this metal bracket here, as you can see. So you're going to have to raise the panel and it's going to come out. In my case, I'm using a little bench here to hold the panel, but yes, the panel is out. And now at this point, what we'll need to do is disconnect all the connectors that we see from the harness. So follow your harness and disconnect everything. In addition, we're going to disconnect the airbag connector as well, and we're going to have to remove the door pull here, as you can see, this cable. And basically once all that is out, you will be able to remove this panel completely. Now that I removed the door panel, as you can see, this is the result, and this is what you have left over of the wiring harness. So I'd like to just mention a few things. Is that the airbag connector may be confusing, as you think it's got to come out. However, you have to disconnect it and cut the zip ties. You're gonna have to remove these clips and reuse them with new zip ties once you reattach the panel. So remember, try to take pictures or remember how everything is plugged in, how everything is attached, so that way when you put it back you have no issues. So let me flip this guy around. There you go. As you can see, the airbag connector is still there. You just have to disconnect it and pretty much disconnect all the connectors, and your door panel will be out. So again, maybe take pictures or take notes how everything is plugged in, so that way when you put it back you have no issues. We're at the step where we'll need to remove the window, the glass, the window regulator. The first thing you want to do is remove these white little panels, if you like. So you're gonna use a sharp blade or something to cut through the glue. Otherwise, if you pull on this, you're probably gonna end up tearing it apart, and you might have to use tape. I can see here that this panel was worked on before. Something was done, I'm not sure what. However, I'll find out. But again, now it's time to remove these. Okay guys, now that I removed my foam inserts, basically it gives me access to the window removal. So as you can see, I brought the window down as the regulator or the motor is not working properly. There's something wrong. I was able to lift my window up and down with a little resistance. However, I was able to do it, so I lowered my window manually. And basically, if you lower it, you'll see that you have the window regulator brackets that hold the glass in place. So we're gonna use a Torx Torx bit pretty much to loosen that up on both sides, 1 and 2, and this way it's going to release the window. In addition to that, what you want to do is this rubber weather strip, you want to lift it out of its position. All right, so that way it gives you clearance to pull out the window. All right, so you want to be careful, and that's all we need. We leave it there. So we have all the space. So basically, by loosening up those 2 Torx screws, the window, the glass itself will come out entirely from the top. All right guys, so the bolt on the far, towards the rear of the car, the right one, has to come out completely in order to pull out the window. This one just needs to be loosened, but this one has to come out completely. Once you do that, you can pull the window from the top. As you can see, it's sitting right over here. So my window is out. I'm ready to pull out the regulator. So the regulator, you have 10mm bolts. One that is behind this protective, another one right over here, 2 underneath the door panel. Just follow your guide. There's a rubber, let me see if I can get this. Sorry guys. There you go. Those rubber caps need to come off, and it will give you access to the bolts to remove it on this side and this side as well. Then we got 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts. You want to use a pair of long nose pliers to squeeze this and push that out, and there will be a connector on the window motor. And basically at that point, we're ready to pull out the window regulator. I do assume that this window regulator will come out from here. Okay boys, so the window regulator is out. Now remember, you have a micro switch that sits right over here on the top, and you have a connector that's attached with a zip tie to the handle release cable. So remember, you're gonna have to put back that zip tie, and it did come out by the bottom. So basically it comes out by ear pretty easily. I mean, you know, it might be a little bit of a struggle, but it does come out. So basically at this point, we're ready to put back the new window regulator motor. So I have it right there. And at this point, it's pretty much the reverse of what we did as far as installing, as far as removing, pretty much the reverse. So I'm gonna go ahead and install my part, put everything back, and make sure everything is working. All right guys, so the installation is completed and it's successful. So guys, if you have any questions or any comments you want to put below, or I'd be happy to answer. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. So see you guys in another video. Thank you so much.